In July, the Yankees and Red Sox were involved in the greatest game of the season so far. It was like a heavyweight fight. The Red Sox threw a punch, and the Yankees countered.
Swung on it, hit in the air to deep right center. It is high, it is far, it is gone.
It started out as a regular season game, but ended up feeling like the middle of October.
Way back, and there it goes, a home run for Manny Ramirez.
And of course, Derek Jeter makes one of the best plays of the year.
Oh, what a play by Jeter.
Then, out of nowhere,
there's a fly ball to left field. It's way back there, and it is gone. And the Yankees win another improbable game.
What happens next? Stay tuned. Yankees and Red Sox coming up on Fox. What's happened to this point today? That's also interesting. Welcome to Fenway Park. About an hour late, we get ready for the Yankees and Red Sox. Last night, more of the same for the Boston fans. Red Sox have lost 4 straight to the Yankees, and last night in the ninth, a double by Sheffield and the game-winning RBI by Alex Rodriguez off Keith Foulke. And the Yankees won the ball game. Curt Schilling blowing a 4-1 lead, shaking his head. That's all he could do. That's all Alex Rodriguez was doing in the middle of April. 1 for 17 with his new club. Last night, 3 out of 5 with a run scoring, a steal, and the game-winning RBI. Welcome to Fenway Park, everybody. I'm Joe Buck along with Tim McCarver. You can understand the negativity and the frustration with the Red Sox and their fans because the window seems to be closing on this older team, and coming off last year, losing in Game 7 of the ALCS. All the expectations. Now it's not going as planned. But there's no shame in looking at the wild card standings, even in the month of July, is there?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, after all, it's unlikely that the Red Sox will catch the Yankees. The Yankees have never blown a lead of 6 or more games in their illustrious history. Actually, in 1933, it was 6 games, but not more than that. But look at the wild card and how tight it is. The White Sox in first place in the American League wild card, followed by Boston, Oakland, and Anaheim. So there is 2 months left to determine the winner in the wild card to represent the American League in October.
This is at 3:30 Eastern with Bruce Fremming, today's home plate umpire and the crew chief, here today, talking to Theo Epstein. Earlier, he had been hearing from Joe Torre. This is the interesting part of what's happened today. About 2 o'clock, roughly, the 2 managers walked out on the field, and it was deemed that this field was unplayable. The New York Yankees went so far as to start the team buses. They pulled all of their equipment out of the dugout. Players were showering and walking out of the stadium, at which point the Boston Red Sox front office overruled that earlier decision and said, no, we're going to play. And so now here we are at 4:09 when they originally said the start time was going to be 4 o'clock. Bronson Arroyo went down to the bullpen late to get ready for the start, and his first pitch is driven to center field. Damon with a leap and a catch. And that's the way we start after a long delay. Johnny Damon up against the wall to rob Bernie Williams of an extra base hit. Tim, it has been, as we watch this replay, at the very least curious, if not frustrating to a large degree, the way this day has started between the Red Sox and the Yankees and the decisions that have been made to get this game underway a little bit after 4.
Fine play by Johnny Damon, but you're right, Joe. I mean, you have to at least ask the question that if it were another team other than the New York Yankees, would they have been jacked around like they have been so far today before the game started? But Damon, a fine play.
And I think there was a lot of frustration on the part of the Yankees, who were making their way out of the stadium only to be told to stop and come back and play this game. The decision before the ball game starts rests with the home club. And there was speculation around here that with the way the Boston Red Sox have been playing, if they had the opportunity, they would push another game back into September when these 2 clubs meet, as opposed to going after it today. But that decision was overruled, and here we are. Here's the starting lineup for the Yankees, presented by Citibank. Williams, Jeter, they're out. Now Sheffield is coming up. Alex Rodriguez will follow. Posada, Matsui, Sierra, Clark, and Miguel Cairo batting in the 9 spot, playing second base. Here's Gary Sheffield, who scored that winning run last night. Also in last night's game, Sheffield hit his 399th career home run as he takes a strike from Bronson Arroyo. Arroyo on the mound for the Red Sox. Tanyon Sturtz, who grew up in Worcester, Mass., will be pitching for the Yankees today. That's into center field, and after a lengthy delay, Bronson Arroyo late to the bullpen to get ready for this supposed 4 o'clock start. Has a 1-2-3 first, bottom half. Tanyon Sturtz, Yankees Red Sox, no score. Major League Baseball on Fox, brought to you by Midas. Trust the Midas touch, and by Thank You from Citi, a new kind of rewards program from a card you can count on. It's one thing to grow up in Worcester and root for the Boston Red Sox your entire life and then make a start against Boston. Here's the Citibank lineup for the Boston Red Sox that will face Tanyon Sturtz, Damon Varitek, Ortiz, Ramirez, Garciaparra, Nixon, Millar, Miller, and Bellhorn. It's another Tim to make a start at Fenway Park as a New York Yankee. He's done it with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. He's bounced around in his big league career. But when you're wearing that Yankee uniform, it's a horse of a different color.
I should say.
Johnny Damon first up, ball 1 outside.
Tanyon Sturtz, a guy whose father took him to 12 consecutive opening days, a retired police officer in Worcester, Mass. And here he is starting for the Yankees. Only his second start of the year. His other on the 16th of June against Arizona.
So his dad Ken is torn. The Red Sox fans are not. They are dying for a Red Sox victory over the Yankees. And I think most are of the belief, as we mentioned at the start, that if they're going to get into the postseason, it will come as the wild card, which is fine. I mean, if you're the Boston Red Sox and you're their fans, you realize that the last 2 world champions have been wild card entries. Talking about the Angels and the Marlins. 3-2 now on Damon. Second most runs scored in the American League this year, Johnny Damon. He is gone, a strikeout, as Tanyon Sturtz gets through the first hitter.
Take a look at the scouting report, talking to Mel Stottlemyre, the pitching coach of the Yankees. An improved sinker for Tanyon, and he has been more aggressive. However, his career earned run average at Fenway about the same as a New York City bridge toll round trip. It's $8 round trip to go across the Verrazano. They only charge you 1 time. His ERA 7.38 here at Fenway Park.
With 1 out, the batter is Varitek. But when he got to the park yesterday and looked at the lineup, he thought he'd been traded. He's a free agent to be, and he looked down the middle of the lineup, the bottom of the lineup, didn't see his name, and he thought, uh-oh, we're playing the Yankees. Wakefield isn't pitching. Where am I? And then he looked up in the number 2 spot, and there he was, and he's there again today. Good changeup from Sturtz, and now off the hands and foul off to the left, still 0-2. Take a look at the defense for the Yankees. Matsui in left, Williams in center, and Sheffield patrols that big right field here at Fenway. Rodriguez, Jeter, Cairo, and Clark, as Giambi sits this one out, day game after a night game. Here's an 0-2. Ball 1. Tanyon Sturtz on 1-2. To his left, Jeter on 2 hops. 2 up, 2 down. Jeter is playing with a small break, a small bone in his right hand, hit by a pitch by Victor Zambrano on Tuesday night. And when you see him, you wouldn't like it, Tim, because he shakes your hand left-handed.
Yeah, right. No, I don't like that.
That's one of your pet peeves.
That is correct.
That's got to be top 3 in your world.
It is.
But he does it for a reason. He's injured.
That's true.
But he's okay to swing the bat and play short. With 2 out, here's David Ortiz.
Joe, it's almost the theme of this Yankee team. this year, and we're going to talk about that more throughout this game, how tough this Yankee team is. Normally, you don't talk about the New York Yankees in their regal status 26 World Championships as tough, but they are a tough ball club.
Miguel Cairo takes care of Ortiz. The first inning is in the books. Down go the Red Sox. 1, 2, 3 into the second. We go. Arroyo is back to the hill, and the first pitch to Alex Rodriguez is high and tight, ball 1. Arroyo in his first 8 starts was 1-2 with an ERA of over 5.3. This is a guy who was claimed off waivers from the Pirates organization last February. In his last 7, he's 1-4 with a 2.23 ERA. But a quote that was attributed to him in today's Boston Globe would really frighten me if I were the Red Sox, as he hits the inside corner and the count's 1-2 on Alex Rodriguez. Just wait, Tim. I know you're on the edge of your seat waiting for this quote.
I am.
2-2. Talking about not getting victories and not getting victories at home. He's 1-4 with an ERA of over 5 this year. 2-3 with a good road ERA of 2.83. That misses 3-2. He said whether you're winning or losing at home, the crowd really gets into the situation, and sometimes it makes you a little more uptight. On the road, it's more soothing to be out there on the mound. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and reaching for it is Rodriguez. Now getting to the bag is Arroyo, safe. Millar went too far to his right, couldn't recover, and Arroyo couldn't get there in time and get his foot on the base.
That's exactly what happened. And Arroyo had to try to time it, finding first base with the throw from Bellhorn. Over the past couple of years, we've talked about how far Kevin Millar plays off the bag. If you play that far off the bag, you can't play deep. You've got to play more shallow so you can get to the bag in a hurry. With the speed of Alex Rodriguez, that one break to the right, and that was a fatal mistake. I don't know if it was fatal, but it was a mistake to open the second inning.
Last night, Millar made a play, or didn't make a play, on a ball that was hit down the first baseline. Coming in, charging it, didn't come to the plate, couldn't go back to first because Gutierrez wasn't there on a chopper hit by Sierra. Thought about coming home, then turned around and nobody was at first.
Well, that's a routine ground ball to second base. The pitcher cannot be covering on a routine ground ball to second base.
They have ruled the play to start this inning E1. Breaking ball stays high from Arroyo. 1 ball, 1 strike. So that's the ruling for now. E1 is. I thought Arroyo did a good job just to get over that.
Yeah, that's right. Especially with a guy like Rodriguez running on an outside pitch where he had a good break to first base anyway.
Here comes a 1-1 on the outside corner, strike 2.
Well, the Red Sox are not a good defensive team. They have given up more unearned runs than any other team in baseball. 68 unearned runs, and most of the time unearned runs come from faulty play on the infield.
Posada stays up there. The count stays 1-2. Does that quote bother you, or am I just blowing that out of proportion?
It doesn't. I think that the main reason that Bronson Arroyo has not done well at home is he's had poor run support. Red Sox have not supported him, and that's the real reason behind it. I can understand that. I've always thought that, I don't know, how much pressure Bronson has from friends and home folk and stuff like that, leaving tickets and all that sort of stuff.
On 1-2, that almost flipped Posada. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
But sometimes pitcher in particular can get into a better rhythm and a better flow when they pitch on the road. Certainly that's not the case with Curt Schilling, who until last night, of course he was not the losing pitcher last night, but he's 7-0 at Fenway Park this year.
Pedro Martinez this past week lost his first Fenway game this year. The hands of the Orioles. Red Sox lost 2 of 3 to Baltimore. That's foul. And Posada still up there 2-2.
Yeah, the Red Sox are 2-8 against the Orioles this year. The Yankees are 10-1 against Baltimore. Right there is about a 9-game difference.
So it's the Orioles' fault.
It's the Orioles' fault.
The Red Sox are where they are in the division.
That's right.
It's logic like that that can win you an election.
Well, Democratic convention in 2 days in this city.
Here's a 2-2. Posada just got a piece of it.
We gave John Kerry another idea.
So it's still 2-2. Arroyo deals. That can't come back. Looking for a backdoor pitch, and the count's 3-2. See if the Yankees start the runner.
Oh, I would think they would with the speed of Rodriguez. Joe Torre likes to do that. Even though Posada strikes out a lot, he's had some good hacks against Arroyo.
And to try to keep him close, a check on him. Matsui will follow then Ruben Sierra, who's the DH today for New York. The Yankees cruising at 61-34. 9.5 games better than the Red Sox. 3-2. Runner goes. Posada with a base hit into center field, and Rodriguez will end up at third. First and third, nobody out. An error, a base hit. And Matsui will have a chance to put New York out in front.
Looked like another breaking ball, and waiting on it very well is Posada. You've heard that expression, you can't give a team 4 outs and expect to win in the big leagues. You cannot give the Yankees 4 outs and expect to beat them anytime. They are an opportunistic ball club and take advantage of those sorts of things.
Matsui is going to be the one to try and cash in, and now Varitek is getting signs from the dugout.
Getting a sign from the dugout on what to do if Posada runs. And with Posada running, number one, he's not going to be running unless it's 3-2. So if he does run, you just throw through as you normally would.
Take the out.
Right. Absolutely.
That's low, ball 1 to Matsui, who has driven in 60. Very quietly, he has been a steady player, and he is a guy who, with that graphic, answers it every day. That makes it 2-0. Not a flashy player, not a guy that's going to hit the gargantuan home runs, but he is a solid big league ball player. Arroyo in trouble, first and third, nobody out, and Matsui into left center field. That's going to put the Yankees on top. One hop off the wall. In to score is Alex Rodriguez. They will hold Posada on an RBI double by Matsui. An error, a single, a double, and a run.
A fastball away, and it was not a good swing by Matsui, but it gives you an idea of his plate coverage. Watch his swing, rear end outside. Actually, he opened up too soon. And that ball tailing away from Johnny Damon. Fine piece of hitting and plate coverage by Matsui.
And now a guy who's become a big weapon off the bench for Joe Torre, Ruben Sierra. Sierra hitting .282, 12 homers, 39 RBIs. He hit a game-winning home run in the 9th inning this past week at Yankee Stadium to beat Toronto. The bigger story out of that game was the start by El Duque. Orlando Hernandez who struck out 10 in 7 innings and obviously didn't give up a run. He's 2-0. Did not get the win that day, but he's had 3 starts and he's been outstanding.
And if you're a baseball fan, you're saying, wait a minute, El Duque, wasn't he with Montreal? Didn't he go to Montreal from New York, and now he's back with the Yankees? That's right, he's back with the Yankees.
The Yankees signed him in the offseason when he wasn't ready to pitch. He's worked his way back, rehabbed to the point where he's put together those numbers in his return to New York. Here's a 1-1 to Sierra. Shattered bat. Oh, goodness. And a pop up to the shortstop, Garcia Parra. And amazingly, everybody's okay with that jagged piece of lumber ending up in the seats by the Boston dugout.
Bats like that are ordered in cords.
That is firewood for 3 different people. Ruben can have a little piece. Second baseman could have a piece, and thank goodness some fan. They're now fighting, not in a bad way, but arguing over who should get the piece of bat in the seats. And the one guy's holding his arm out like, look, I'm bleeding from it. Don't I get it?
You can't saw a bat off any more than Arroyo did to Ruben Sierra.
Here's Tony Clark. A couple of years ago played with Boston and looked like his career was over. And it is anything but. For being with the Mets, he's with the Yankees, and he's getting a lot of playing time and making the most of it with his 10 home runs and 32 RBIs. Giambi sits. Still trying to get healthy, still trying to get his energy back. He's undergone tests all week. They have been able to rule some major things out like cancer, which was clearly weighing on the mind of Jason Giambi, as he just wasn't getting better, or at least getting better at the rate he would have hoped. They're dealing with an intestinal parasite. Here's a 1-2 to Clark. To the right side. That'll get a run home. Ground out 3-1. It's 2-0 New York. And with a runner at third, Matsui 2 out. Miguel Cairo looking for that all-important 2-out RBI hit. Arroyo trying to stop it right here. The inning started with an error, and the Red Sox have paid for it. During this past week, the Red Sox have lost games started by Pedro Martinez and Curt Schilling. And at this point in the season, they can't afford that. On the inside corner to Cairo. Only a half game out in the wild card chase behind the White Sox, and a half game better than Oakland. These two franchises both looking to bulk up before the trading deadline. Ball 2 to Cairo. The Yankees could add in their rotation. They need to. They could add at second base, and they could certainly add to their left side of their bullpen. Here's a 2-1 to Cairo. 3-1.
I think you can make a case too that the Yankees will be adding for October, and the Red Sox will be adding for August.
That's a great point, and I think the Yankees need to add for October.
Yes, absolutely.
They may be leading the AL East by 9.5 games, but they're not comfortable at all with what they have. And a lot of that has to do with injury. Mike Messina threw off flat ground today. They hope to get Kevin Brown back next Friday in a game against Baltimore. He's due to pitch tomorrow in a game for Staten Island. But they have big question marks for their starting rotation. Here's a 3-2 to Cairo. Still 3-2. Messina on the disabled list with a stiff right elbow, and Kevin Brown with a strained back and run down the same thing that got Giambi. Hopefully for Brian Cashman, as he evaluates his team and his team's needs, The Yankees get them both back shortly. Inning is over, but not before the Yankees strike first. A look of frustration on the face of Arroyo. 2-0 Yankees with Manny, Nomar, and Trot coming up. Major League Baseball on Fox is brought to you by Smooth Bush Beer and easy drinking Bush Light. Second inning, bottom half. Red Sox bat Manny Ramirez, Nomar Garciaparra, Trot Nixon. Ramirez has had a great year, but that's becoming typical. 6th in the AL in batting average, 1st in home runs, 4th in RBIs. Maybe an outside shot by the end of the year. He's challenging for the Triple Crown. Last time it was done by a guy who called Boston home.
Carl Yastrzemski won it back in 1967.
It's the anniversary of Yaz hitting his 400th career home run.
25th anniversary today of number 8. What a player. You talk about a guy who persevered.
Ramirez waits for a 2-1 pitch from Tanyan Sturtz. 2-2. Sturtz saying that baby pictures of kids all around this area are taken with those kids wearing little Red Sox outfits. And he was no different. From Worcester, his 2-2 pitch to Manny Ramirez. Now, granted, it might be a little different if he were pitching to Carl Yastrzemski. If he was pitching even to Ellis Burks or Mike Greenwell. But here is the video of number 400 for Yaz, and Mike Morgan was the pitcher who was like 8 minutes out of his high school prom back for Oakland.
And Tanyan Sturtz was 3 years old.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Ramirez strikes out on a high hard one. Second strikeout for Sturtz. Scooter. Oh, Scooter.
Talking about the sinker that Tanyan Sturtz throws.
Check this out. I can be a real sinker. I look like a regular baseball, but then I dive down like an anvil fell on my head. Oh, the things I do for show business.
I think baseball has been accused of not trying to engage youngsters, and that is obviously one of the reasons that we go to Scooter every now and then to explain to young folks through animation about certain pitches.
Either that or your failings as an analyst.
I knew that look on your face. Evidently, I'm not doing my job, so we have to go to animation.
That's the way I'd read it.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Number 7, Trot.
With the base is empty, here comes Trot Nixon. So you're at fault.
I'm now getting ripped because of Scooter by my partner.
I love you. 8 years together. 8 fun-filled, never an argument years together. With 2 out and nobody on, Nixon takes the ball. There are people from the world of politics crawling all over Fenway Park today. So if the reports are a little lacking on Fox News tonight or any of the other all news channels, you'll know why. I don't know what the score of the Red Sox-Yankees game is, but the progress that's being made across town for the Democratic National Convention. Good luck. Tanyan Sturtz, huh? He's going to be all intimidated pitching at Fenway Park for the Yankees, wearing number 56. Who is Tanyan Sturtz? He's through 2. 2-0 Yankees. Back after this from your local Fox station. Top of the order for the Yankees as they lead at 2-0. We're in the 3rd inning. Bernie Williams, Derek Jeter, Gary Sheffield, strike 1 on the outside corner. Talked about Yaz, Carl Yastrzemski from Long Island. Not a lot of people remember that. And Freddie Lynn is here, right below us, down to the right a little bit.
I didn't know that.
They just Showed him on the board here, and everybody cheered for him. Even Bernie Williams was looking up at him as he made his way to the batter's box after flying to the wall for an out his first time up. There's Fred.
What a first year Freddie had.
I'll say.
1975.
Strike 2 on Bernie.
1975, Rookie of the Year and Most Valuable Player. American League champions that year. A lot of people think, I'm one of them, that the World Series that year between the Red Sox and the Reds brought baseball back into the prominence that it held years before.
That is ripped into right field. Nixon back. He will watch, and it's off the wall. The throw into second, and Williams was hustling out of the box. He has a double. Thought you were going to say a lot of people think I was one of them, and you were in '75 here with the Boston Red Sox.
I received a third of a share that year, $4,400. The World Series share that year was $13,200, and now it is about 30-fold, 25-fold for a share. World Series winning share, I think last year for the Marlins was like $330.
There was a time that the accountants for these Yankee players were just counting on that as yearly income.
Yeah.
Whether it was, I mean, you can pick your era, but even recently, since Joe Torre's been with the Yankees, '96, he's won 4 world championships, 6 straight divisions, and he just continues to be the pillar of leadership as Jeter gets a base hit to make it 1st and 3rd and nobody out. Jeannie is standing by for an update in Los Angeles.
Well, guess what happened when you left Philadelphia? No, Sammy Sosa, Jim Thome are not involved. We're talking about Paul Abbott, yesterday's starter, helping his own cause with a 2-run single, putting the Phillies out in front, breaking a 2-2 tie. It's 4-2 Philadelphia, top 6.
So Abbott's doing it on the mound and at the plate. National League East, Philadelphia, a half game out behind Atlanta. You can see with those records, it's going to be a 4-way fight, possibly till the end, and that's because nobody's really playing all that great.
Right.
Here is Sheffield. He takes a strike.
Joe, you've started the wheels of turning, and since Joe Torre took over in 1996, the Yankees World Series shares have been over $2 million.
That misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wow. Brian Cashman is able to relax right now during the game, but I'm sure that cell phone of his has been buzzing off the desk. Breaking ball misses by plenty. 2 balls and a strike, and Veritek says, Bronson, calm it down a little bit. A-Rod on deck. The Yankees wannabe players leading to the trading deadline. They're probably the only team that can afford, without disrupting everything, Randy Johnson for next year. That's up the middle. Bellhorn will step and throw. Double play, but the run scores, and that makes it 3-0. I think right now the Red Sox will take that trade of the double play for the run. And that's it really for the Yankees. They can handle the pay, obviously. But the question is, do they have enough to make it worth the while of the Arizona Diamondbacks to just clear the salary of Randy Johnson and get a couple of young players? And they're looking for players that are ready for the big leagues. And there's a cell phone, of course. No, that's not going to do it. Would you take 3 guys on cell phones? Hello, hello, hello. Strike 1 on Rodriguez.
The guy directly in front of Brian Cashman is not a scout. This fellow right here. He's just messing around.
And he knows
this is serious right here. Yeah, those two guys behind him, they're serious.
1 ball, 1 strike.
That's some serious calling right there. Well, maybe not. Theo Epstein, the general manager of the Red Sox, yawning.
Alex Rodriguez is drilled, and he says something to Bronson Arroyo. And we know what he said. Here we go. Varitek and A-Rod going at it. Schilling is right in the middle of it. Now another fight off to the side. Millar is in it. Nixon is in it. Down to the right. And it was Sturtz. That's who Millar and Nixon got into it with, today's starting pitcher. It's going to take forever to get this thing straightened out.
Well, Sturtz, the starting pitcher, and obviously both benches will be worn. The manager and the pitcher gone. Sturtz is bleeding from the left ear. In hockey, it's the two combatants. No one else is allowed into the fight.
That's Gabe Kapler.
Right.
Kapler and Sturtz, I believe, were the two that splintered off. And then Nixon was involved in that fight. That's where my attention went after the initial fight was between Varitek and Alex Rodriguez.
Right. Varitek, I mean, you're trained to protect your pitcher, but Varitek appeared to have said something to Rodriguez. Rodriguez appeared to have said something to Varitek. Varitek kept his mask on. That's the thing. And he hit him with his mask on.
Now you see Tanyan Sturtz get in the middle of it. He came running in, and there's 56. That's today's starter for the Yankees, Tanyan Sturtz, and he grabs Kapler by the neck. And that's David Ortiz. He's already appealing a 5-game suspension. And there's Trot Nixon getting into it at the end of it. Well, that was ugly. And it looked for a minute like Ortiz was about to really swing, and somebody stopped him from it.
Yeah.
From the beginning. You can see Alex Rodriguez right at the end say, let's go.
Bruce Fleming, the home plate umpire, trying to prevent Varitek and Rodriguez from going at it. Don't know what was said between Rodriguez and Varitek, but now Nixon, talk about getting into the pile. Look for a minute also. It appeared to me that Ortiz was trying to break it up. Yeah, this only heightens, obviously heightens the anger between these two teams.
So now Bruce Fleming is going to go over and tell Joe Torre what's up, but they have to. Somebody's got to leave this game. Varitek's down there. Or is that Mirabelli? We've got to figure out who's in this game and who's out.
Well, the thing is, Fleming was very close to Varitek and Rodriguez, so perhaps he heard what was said, and it appeared that the first punch was thrown by Varitek.
And I believe Varitek for the moment is still in this game.
Yeah, he is.
It's hard to read his number from up here, but I believe that's Varitek behind the plate. But he's got to go, doesn't he?
I would think so. Yeah, Bruce Fleming telling Varitek he's gone. He just pointed to Varitek and said, pointed toward the Red Sox dugout.
I mean, that's the easiest part of all of this.
Yeah.
Then the question is, what do you do with Sturtz? Did the umpires even see that with Sturtz?
He's kind of tough to miss. He's 6'6".
Oh, yeah. Did the umpires even see it with Sturtz and Kapler? Now a huge ovation for Varitek, who is in so many ways the rock and the leader of this Boston Red Sox team. But he is ejected. There's obviously been a history between these two organizations, the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. That's Lou Piniella, May 20th of 1976, and Fisk going at it. An ugly one at Yankee Stadium. There's Bill Lee starting it back up. And then, of course, last year, Game 3, Kareem Garcia, Pedro Martinez, Don Zimmer, and Zimmer going after Pedro. This crowd here at Fenway right now is applauding the ejection of Alex Rodriguez.
I think the umpires have gotten the two original combatants, but from what I see, from what we see, there have not been any more ejections. But as you said, you could make a case for Tanyon Sturtz and Gabe Kapler.
I'll say this, and about Alex Rodriguez, you know what Varitek's all about. He's a tough guy. He's a guy that's out there, I'm sure, frustrated beyond belief with this Red Sox season so far. But on the other side, I would imagine Alex Rodriguez, whether it's right or wrong, will win some points with his teammates and with his fans of the New York Yankees for standing up and getting in the face of Varitek after getting drilled by a pitch. He's always done everything so gracefully.
Yeah.
Things seem to come so easily to him.
It's a fair point.
And to see that fire and to see him get upset and basically say to Varitek, let's go, or come on, bring it on, and get into it with Varitek, I would imagine the perception may change a little bit. I think as an advantage for Alex Rodriguez.
Well, I mean, consider, and there you see Varitek landing the first punch, had his mask on, and now the pile, and then you can see Tanyon Sturtz coming in, and then he and David Ortiz and Gabe Kapler, followed by Trot Nixon. I think Ortiz swung at Tanyon Sturtz. He did swing. So what you picked up initially is right. The thing about it is Alex Rodriguez, this is all new to him. Now keep in mind the first series these two teams played, Rodriguez was 1 for 17. So if, in fairness, if he's being hit for what he did last night, you know, you gotta sit and wonder. Say I go 3 for 5, I went 1 for 17 in that first series up here.
Enrique Wilson takes over, and he will do the running at first base, and it's only Alex Rodriguez and Jason Varitek ejected from this game. Mirabelli takes over behind the plate. Now we'll see how Arroyo, who's already given up 3 runs in the ball game, 1 in this inning, gets along the rest of this third. And if anything else comes out of this, obviously both benches have been warned.
I think because Tanyon Sturtz was a participant, I think he's going to throw at somebody in the third inning. That's not bloodlust, but just knowing Tanyon Sturtz a little bit and knowing how tough he is and how big he is, I think he could be saying to himself, so I get kicked out of the game. So what?
If that's the case, then you wonder if Joe Torre and or Mel Stottlemyre have to say something to him, how badly they need Sturtz to give innings today after a long night last night for the bullpen.
Yeah. From
Quantrill to Gordon, and then it was a 1-2-3 ninth inning for Rivera. But if they want him in the game, you wonder if something's been said to him. Look, you got out there, you got involved in it, our guy got hit, but for the meantime, we need you in the game as opposed to dishing out payback. Posada lifts one into right field for Nixon. We are just getting started.
I think you have to weigh that, keeping Sturtz in the game, to protecting Alex Rodriguez. We'll see.
Bottom of the third inning rolls in. 3-0 New York. We'll see if anything else happens as we move into the bottom of the third inning. Tanyon Sturtz with blood on the left shoulder of his uniform top will pitch to Kevin Millar. And Millar, who hit 3 solo home runs last night, jerks one foul. Strike one. 3-0 the Yankees on top. Enrique Wilson, who ran for A-Rod, goes into play second, and Miguel Cairo switches from second to third. See how they patched up that gash by the left ear of Tanyon Sturtz. The local boy from Worcester. His heart's got to be racing as he works.
Oh, I was thinking the same thing.
And misses to Millar, ball 2-1. Pedro Martinez now in the dugout. One guy who caught my attention during that benches clearing incident was Schilling, was right in the middle of it.
Yeah, me too.
Guy with a bad ankle. He came flying out into it. Here's a 3-1 to Millar. That's into left field. It'll get down for a hit. The other part of it is Sturtz and his involvement in the fight. Gabe Kapler was stunned when he came back, only to realize that Sturtz was still in the ball game. He's saying he grabbed me.
He grabbed me,
and
right.
he did.
He did.
Sturtz went right into the pile. 56.
Bill Miller.
Right there, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
he had already grabbed Kapler by the throat.
Right. It's you know, in those pileups, it's very difficult to determine whether someone is grabbing someone to get them away from there and to break things up, or singling out one particular player. When you grab somebody by the throat, you are, that's different than just singling, just keeping him away from the pile. Ortiz saw that, and actually Ortiz did throw a punch toward Sturtz. It was high, but Ortiz has always been a low ball hitter.
Here comes a 1-1 to Billy Miller, who homered last night. Outside, 2-1.
Tough to add levity to the situation.
He's got that same feel as that October day with these two in game 3. That just missed. 3-1 on Miller. And now the issue of hitting somebody as payback aside, Tanyon Sturtz has to rein it in and try and protect a 3-run lead. The 3-1. Miller goes the opposite way. That ball will carry off the wall. It gets behind Matsui. Millar will hold at third. Second and third, nobody out.
Bill Miller hitting the wall. He also had a home run in last night's game. Tough wall to play, determining when it's going to hit it. Now Mel Stottlemyre out to talk to Sturtz. You're trying to look at all sides. Arroyo has hit 14 men this season in 98 innings. That is an unusually, that's the highest ratio in the American League. There's Bronson.
Alex Rodriguez, and I think the Yankees as a group will tell you there are hit batsmen, and then there are situations where a guy's throwing at somebody.
Yeah, yeah. That was pretty clear to be the latter then.
Well, after giving up another run, bases empty, 2 out, Alex Rodriguez, who symbolizes so much of the frustration for the Red Sox this year, not getting him. But then last night, after that 1-for-17 middle of April series that he had here, getting 3 hits, including the game winner in the 9th inning off Folk, he gets hit. And while I think, and I don't know if you agree, that may change the perception of Alex Rodriguez, and the only reason I say that is because he's the good-looking guy with the $1 million suit, and things come easily for him and whatever. He roughed it up with that Yankee uniform on, which I think will change, I think, for the better. Not that he needed it, not that he's not liked, that's not the case, but I think it'll change the perception a little, add a little of that toughness to the reputation. I think it may do something for the Red Sox that Veritek got into it and started this up, and maybe some of the frustration finally spilled over, and see if it wakes up the Red Sox. They're making noise here in the bottom of the 3rd with a single, a double, and a 2-2 count on Bellhorn.
There has been talk about the Red Sox not having the same unity that they had last year, and sometimes something like that could be the initial stages of the unity that you're seeking. I know it's a weird way to get it, but that is the way baseball works sometimes.
Well, the crowd's in it. They were booing last night and early today, but it's different. 3-2 on Bellhorn. Bellhorn puts the Red Sox on the board with an RBI ground out. Over to 3rd goes Miller. Now it's Johnny Damon.
It has been talked about so many times that in the American League, where there is a designated hitter and the pitcher does not have to bat, that it's more of a license to throw at hitters. And I continue to think that that is true. I think that's the prevailing view in baseball.
That will score Miller. It's a 1-run game.
That in the National League, when the pitchers hit, it is more or less a natural way to prevent too much headhunting. And I think pitchers have a tendency to do that too much in the American League, and the fact that they do not hit is in no way a deterrent to keep them from doing that. If you have to pick up a bat and face a pitcher throwing 60 feet 6 inches away with the chance of him nailing you after you nail one of them, common sense says that's a deterrent.
Ball 1 outside to Mirabelli. His first at bat since taking over for Veritek, who was ejected in the top of this inning. Mirabelli's had a good year swinging the bat.
He has.
Hitting over 300 and slugging .639. But he is in there typically only when Wakefield starts. Catches the knuckleballer. 2-0. Two and 1. You just saw Ortiz on deck. Today's Gillette Mach 3 power home run hitters. This is for all of Major League Baseball. Tomey, Pujols, and Manny Ramirez, David Ortiz. 3 and 4 on the list. 3 and 1.
I'll guarantee you one thing, Joe Buck. And not one of the 35,000 plus here in this stadium thought that this game would take this turn this early after an hour rain delay.
Here's a pop-up behind the plate. Posada. That's how the game ended last night. Well, it has taken a turn. A turn for the worse, a turn for the better. We'll find out. 3-2 after 3 with Arroyo back to the hill. Today's game on Fox brought to you by Miller High Life. To live simply, proudly, boldly, manly. This is the High Life by Goodyear Assurance, featuring triple tread technology. And by Aquafina. Make your body happy. Drink more water. Hideki Matsui first up, and he takes a ball outside. Underway in the fourth. It's 3-2 New York. Matsui an RBI double his first time up. On with a leadoff base hit up the middle. That'll bring in Ruben Sierra. Sierra popped up his first time.
Number 24, Ruben Sierra.
Just what happened in the bottom of the third inning with the Red Sox plating those runs on consecutive RBI groundouts. At bats like those last night might have changed the entire outcome for the Boston Red Sox. They were only 1 out of 11 with runners in scoring position, but even within those outs, they left runners at third. That ball is on a line to right, caught by Nixon, 1 out. A lot of unproductive outs within that 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position as Juan Padilla gets loose for the Yankees in their bullpen.
First baseman, number 29.
Here's Tony Clark.
A lot of times when you have when you're involved in a fight and stuff like that, it takes a while for perhaps the soreness to set in. And with Padilla up and throwing, you wonder if Sturtz didn't have a delayed reaction, his arm or neck, shoulder.
Or if they're just getting Padilla ready for when Sturtz drills somebody in the next half inning. I mean, if you want to hit somebody,
if you're going to do it, you got to do it immediately for effect. Well, you don't have to. I mean, you can delay it an inning if you like.
But it looks tougher the other way.
Yeah,
you just come right back.
Well, especially if the team against whom you're pitching scores 2 runs against you, then it gives you added impetus.
1 ball, 1 strike on Tony Clark. So Sturtz could be finished for the day. In this fourth, base hit by Matsui. Sierra hit it hard, but caught by Nixon. And Tony Clark, I'll say this, it wouldn't look good if they had a guy warming up, sent Sturtz back out there. He hits a guy, then gets kicked out, and then you bring Padilla in.
No.
It shouldn't work that way.
No, that would not look good.
But what does look good are those glasses. It couldn't be any more gloomy. .66 degrees, chilly at the start of the day. Clark is gone, 2 out, and that's strikeout number 2 for Arroyo.
Looks like a fastball tailing away from Tony Clark. American League pitchers try not to throw Tony any off-speed stuff in the strike zone. He does not have a quick bat, has a long swing, and usually that fastball is the best pitch to feed him.
Now with 2 out and Matsui at first, Cairo takes a ball. Miguel struck out his first time up. What was as impressive in that game 3 last year during the ALCS with the back and forth between Pedro Martinez and Roger Clemens, and Garcia getting hit, and then all the action, and Zimmer, and right on down the line, was the way Roger Clemens got himself back together after that and went out and pitched a great game and got the victory. Out pitching and beating Pedro Martinez.
Yeah, the 0-2 pitch, and Ramirez complained about it. When in effect it was not close.
Clemens went 6 that day, allowed 2 runs on only 5 hits, struck out 7, walked 1, and maybe most importantly didn't hit about it in response. 1 on, 2 out, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Cairo. Two and 2. There's as much action in the seats as we had on the field in the top of the 3rd. Some of the fans' attention is split. 1 on, 2 out, 2-2 pitch on the inside corner. Heart of the order for Boston in the 4th, down by 1. Boys, as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning, a new pitcher for Joe Torre. Tanyon Sturtz is out 3 innings, 2 runs on 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, and it's Juan Padilla. 2-0. David Ortiz first up, then Manny Ramirez, then Omar Garciaparra. 3-2 Yankees. Try to get word on Tanyon Sturtz if there is something specifically wrong as far as an injury, or if they just took him out to make a change and let him calm down. 3-0 is the count from Padilla. Swinging on 3-0. That makes it strike 1. Since the All-Star break last year, nobody in Major League Baseball has more RBIs than David Ortiz. Here's a 3-1. A leadoff walk. Here comes Manny Ramirez.
The thing about Alex Rodriguez, he has been thrown at, obviously, before with the Seattle Mariners, with the Texas Rangers. And the guy's one of the best players in the game. Most people around baseball think he's the best player in the game, particularly when he played shortstop, one of the most difficult defensive positions. But he's never been thrown at in a Yankee uniform. And as you said, that was the big difference.
This is a rocket into the left field corner off the bat of Ramirez. Ortiz will dig for 3rd on the double. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. And Jason Varitek may have awakened his teammate. A walk and a double.
Not too many guys with the bat speed of Manny Ramirez in the strike zone. That ball a laser down the left field line. Ortiz goes to 3rd easily. Ramirez with double number 29 on the year.
Now it's Garciaparra. Up the middle. 1 run scores to tie it. Here comes Ramirez, and the Red Sox are on top 4-3.
Juan Padilla comes in and walks David Ortiz on 5 pitches, and the next 2 pitches low tracers, one by Ramirez, and now Nomar Garciaparra to give the Red Sox the lead for the first time today.
The official word, and I'll just read what they said. Sturtz is out with a bruised baby finger.
Probably, obviously, on his throwing hand.
Nixon with a clunker into left. Garciaparra will hold at second. And the Red Sox bats have certainly awakened here in the fourth. Back to the phone goes Mel Stottlemyre. Back to the mound goes Mel Stottlemyre. And this points out with this high-priced Yankee team, and really for the most part the Red Sox as well, when guys go down and guys get injured, and you have the ability to trade young players to get the veteran help that you want, and then those veterans are injured, you don't have the reinforcements to fill in. And a lot of this middle relief and some of the guys on the bench for the New York Yankees, not what you would expect even in the rotation. Not what you would expect for the kind of money the Yankees have paid to put this team together this year.
Well, there's a big difference in early middle relief, 3rd through the 6th, as opposed to later middle relief, 7th, 8th, 9th. The Yankees certainly have that. I'm not too sure that there are a lot of teams that have early middle relief when a starter gets knocked out in the 3rd or 4th inning. Bronson Arroyo was that for the Red Sox last year and has served in that capacity some this year, but not too many teams have that particular type of relief.
2 on, nobody out. Another base hit off the bat of Millar, who's red hot, and the bases are loaded. My point is, it points out that no matter what you spend, whether it's 60 million, 80 million, or 183 million, which is the number everybody uses, whether accurate or not, filling in for injured players in this day and age in 2004 is hard, no matter how much money you want to spend. And as far as long middle relief, even the Yankees are looking for it. But this game could get away here from New York. Bases loaded, nobody out. Bill Miller. Right back to Padilla, and the 1-2-3 double play. A huge double play turned by New York.
How many times do you see a 1-2-3 double play or any double play turned as quickly as Padilla turns this one, immediately getting the ball to Posada, and Posada has Miller by 5 strides at first base. I don't think I've ever seen any double play where a hitter has been doubled up that quickly and that easily as Miller was then.
The number 9 man, Mark Bellhorn. Ball 1. Well, how often do you see it hit back to a pitcher?
Yeah.
And a guy who can throw it 90 miles an hour ends up throwing it 52 to the plate. And the catcher's reaching for it, and then has to make some miraculous throw down to first. Padilla hit his catcher Posada in the chest. 2-0 on Bellhorn, who leads the American League in walks and strikeouts. Inning over. A walk, a double, a 2-run single by Garciaparra, and the Red Sox have their first lead of the day after 4. 4-3 Boston. During today's game, Singular Wireless is putting the fans in control of selecting today's Singular play of the game. Register to vote by text messaging play to 883 on your Singular Wireless phone. And you can log on to foxsports.com on MSN, keyword play. Later in today's game, the nominated plays will be sent to eligible voters who will select the Singular play of the game. First pitch, a strike from Bronson Arroyo to Bernie Williams, top of the order for New York, and now they're trailing 4-3. Bernie Williams, Derek Jeter, Gary Sheffield. Enrique Wilson is batting the cleanup spot in place of the ejected Alex Rodriguez. Speculation was before the game, when the meeting happened on the field between Joe Torre, Terry Francona, the grounds crew, and the umpires. Ball one low and away. That the Boston Red Sox didn't want to play this game today, and that happens all the time across baseball year to year. If a team's not playing well and they have the conditions that could lead to a postponement to a later time in the season where they may be healthier, or they may like their chances better,
or playing better,
Sure. And these two meet twice in September, you push it back. But then evidently word is, and it's just speculation up here in the press area, that members of the front office of the Red Sox vetoed that and said, no, we're going to play today. This was at 3:30 Eastern. After the Yankees had already showered and were headed out to their team bus, they were told to come back and play this game. If that was the case, Tim, with the Boston Red Sox maybe trying to conveniently postpone this game, you wonder if by the end of the day, after the fireworks in the third inning and now they're leading after falling behind 3-0, they'll be glad they played it. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Bernie Williams.
Well, it's certainly an odd set of circumstances leading up to a game in which there was a fight.
Full count.
As we said, of all the things that could have happened, that would have happened, should have happened, the thing I think that is the furthest from anybody's mind was that there would be a fight in this game.
Going up after it was Bernie. It's still 3-2. Yet when you think of the Red Sox situation, the expectations of this season, how their year ended last October, losing in Game 7 on the Aaron Boone home run, the frustration of their play, even just after the All-Star break, falling 9.5 games out in the AL East. That frustrating series at the end of June and the first day of July at Yankee Stadium where they were swept. Maybe it's not hard to understand how their frustration could boil over as Millar puts away out number 1. With the bases empty, Derek Jeter, 1 for 2, walks in.
Jeter.
A good Jeter who still represents so much that is right with the New York Yankees.
Yeah, I think they're booing the symbol more than the man.
Even the most diehard Red Sox fan had to admire that catch that he made on the 1st of July in extra innings, diving into the seats after hauling in and out, hanging onto it, coming out of the seats with blood trickling down his face, and then being in the lineup the next day.
Talked earlier about how he represents the toughness of really of Major League Baseball players. I mean, this guy played after tumbling into the stands. He played the next day against the Mets. He was hit on Tuesday night by Victor Zambrano at Tampa Bay. This is the play Joe was talking about. Taken out of that game, and that happened this past Tuesday. He's playing with a broken bone in his right hand. He's a good shortstop. I think his toughness makes him a great shortstop.
A great player.
A great player. Yep.
The 1-2. Mirabelli thought they had out number 2. Instead, it's ball 2. Even after he separated his shoulder opening day of 2003, he came in and told Joe Torre he'd play the next day. That didn't happen, but that's his mentality.
Right.
And in the matchup of the two, that was the same night, ironically, that Nomar Garciaparra sat out the game to rest his Achilles tendon. That 13-inning game that was won by the Yankees, 5-4. 2-2 pitch, another foul. So Bronson Arroyo is giving the Boston Red Sox what they needed. 2 unearned runs scoring in the second. Another run scoring in the third. But Arroyo's teammates have come up with 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth. They lead it 4-3. And Jeter's in a battle. Our Budweiser Fantasy Player of the Week is Travis Hafner of the Cleveland Indians. What a week. Log on to foxsports.com, keyword fantasy baseball. Today's game brought to you by Budweiser. Grab a cold, fresh Budweiser. It's game time. Update coming if we get a chance. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Jeter. With 1 out and the base is empty. To third, it comes up for Miller. Long throw, high and out as Millar came down on the bag.
Good play by Millar to come down quickly, leaving the bag and down to get Jeter.
Right call was made by Hunter Wendelstedt, the first base umpire, who will work the plate tomorrow night in a matchup of Derek Lowe for the Red Sox, who's been battling a blister, and Jose Contreras, who, other than a rough start against the Mets, has been terrific and seems to be finally getting the confidence that his stuff dictates he should have. A 1-2-3 inning against the top of the order for Arroyo. It'll be the top of the order for the Red Sox. Bottom of the 5th. 4-3 Boston. Major League Baseball on Fox is brought to you by the Michelob Ultra. Lose the carbs, not the taste. By Best Buy. Thousands of possibilities. Get yours. By GMC. We are professional grade. And by FedEx Kinko's, your one-stop for copying, printing, and shipping. We move into the bottom of the 5th inning, halfway through this one, which started roughly an hour late, and Johnny Damon takes a pitch outside, ball 1. Juan Padilla took over last inning, allowed 2 runs on 4 hits, and was helped by a 1-2-3 double play off the bat of Bill Miller. 1-1 on Damon. Damon 0 for 2 with an RBI groundout. Mirabelli on deck, and then Ortiz. Strike 2 on Damon. Damon hitting .303, rounds it foul. Along with getting started late, there was very little information about what was being discussed on the field, what the discussions were, the implications as Damon sticks the bat out and gets a 2-out base hit. Hitting over .300 this season with 2 strikes.
Best 2-strike hitter in the AL.
But there was no announcement to the crowd till at one point they put up on the board that the game would start roughly, they hope, at 4 o'clock. It started about 4:09 Eastern time. They said, I think officially a 54-minute delay. And while the first meeting was determined that it would take a quote-unquote superhuman effort to get this field ready, and the Yankees packed up their dugout, started to head out toward their team buses, which were started and ready to go, and then they were told to turn around. The word from the Red Sox here as we play in the 5th inning at 5:44 Eastern is that it was the players, led by Jason Varitek and others, that said, well, if it's going to take a superhuman effort, then make a superhuman effort. Let's play it today as opposed to pushing it back. And they lead it 4-3 as we play in the 5th. So that's the latest word, that it was a meeting among the players. And any thoughts by the Red Sox to possibly push this back into September? They could potentially be playing better baseball at that point. The players put an end to that and said, let's do it now. So the Yankees came back. Not that they had completely left the park, but they Changed back into their uniforms, got back onto the field, got loose, jumped out to a 3-0 lead, and now they trail by 1. Leadoff man is on. Damon Mirabelli 0 for 1. Knowing enough about Jason Varitek, Tim, can't say that I know him well. It doesn't surprise me that he would lead the charge to say, hey, forget that. Let's play it now and let's go out and try to win this game.
Yeah, you don't have to know Jason well. You just have to know him enough.
Mirabelli, strike 2. I can't imagine the Red Sox not getting something done with Varitek to keep him around past this year.
We talked about it on other Boston games that we've done. He would be the #1 guy to sign. They have so many guys. Pedro Martinez.
Derek Lowe. They did re-up with David Ortiz and seemed to get him at
cheaply,
a decent price.
Yep.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Mirabelli. Of course, Nomar. Fastball fouled back. Millar is the guy who coined the phrase "cowboy up" last year for the Red Sox, which kind of became their rally cry into and during October. Coming back from down 2-0 to the Oakland A's to move on and stretch the ALCS to 7 games. These fans booing a Yankee fan who comes up with that foul ball. Talked to Millar yesterday, and he has changed and trying to coin a new phrase. We'll just let Kevin tell you when we get the chance. That Yankee fan just gave that foul ball to a Red Sox fan to get everybody off his back. Mirabelli strikes out, 1 on, 1 out. Here is today's Pepsi Fan Cam. A look back.
I briefly mentioned it. It's something when a catcher leaves his mask on. You're at a real disadvantage trying to hit the catcher.
Along with being a leader and being tough, he's not dumb.
No. And where do you hit? If you're Alex Rodriguez, where do you hit Jason Varitek? He's got the mask on. He's got a chest protector.
Learned that at Georgia Tech.
It's like who was a Kid Gavilan who used to have the bolo punches. That's the only, you have to use your bolo punch. Gillette.
You got me there. I'm at a loss. On the outside corner to Ortiz.
Where do you hit him? Yeah, Alex going trying to wrestle him down. That's all you can do. You can't pop him anywhere.
1 on, 1 out. 2 balls, a strike. Ortiz takes strike 2.
And back in the 50s, the Gillette Cavalcade of sports, the fights every Friday night. Kid Gavilan and et al. That was a huge Kid Gavilan.
I see that tear welling up in the corner of your eye.
I like Kid Gavilan.
The 2-2. High and tight. Checked his swing. Full count. Juan Padilla in relief of Tanyan Sturtz, who left with a bruise on the pinky finger of his pitching hand.
And you can bet Johnny Damon will be off. He has to make sure Padilla throws home.
He does. He does. And a foul ball will send Damon back. Here is Millar talking about Cowboy up, and now what the new rally cry will be this year.
I've been thinking of some stuff, and it's just got to flow. So, I mean, Billy Miller already went there yesterday and did it, and me, Trot, Veritek, Folk, and Wakefield all did it, and Kapler in Atlanta. So it might be skin to win this year. We'll see what happens.
Skin to win. They have all shaved their heads now down the right field line. Wilson has to go a long way, and he drops it. The throw to second. Got him. What a play by Sheffield. Damon had to wait, and Sheffield made a tremendous throw.
Going to be argued by Terry Francona. You're Johnny Damon. You can't be leaning towards second base. You got to assume that this ball is going to be caught. You can see Jeter, but it was a terrific play by Gary Sheffield. Strong throw. It was very close.
Terry Francona just got ejected. While arguing with second base umpire Mike Winters, Francona just got the boot.
If we can kind of take you to, if you're caught in between like that, what did Johnny Damon see that made it possible to be forced at second base? All you can go by is the precariousness of the fielder with his back to home plate. You can't assume some things. Damon still thought he was safe. It was very close at second base.
Number 24.
But you just have to go on your instinct of what is happening. How sure is the infielder of the ball? And Enrique Wilson had his back to home plate. But it was a terrific play by Gary Sheffield.
So Francona hands over his lineup card. 1 on 2 out. Ortiz has to run the bases, and Ramirez just let one rip. What a swing. Three ejections today. Veritek, Alex Rodriguez, and now the manager of the Red Sox, Terry Francona. Here's an 0-1. Ramirez takes a strike. You could say that Sheffield let Enrique Wilson wander too far out into right to try to catch that ball.
Perhaps, but he was playing David Ortiz deeply in right field.
But then he was aware that once that thing took a bounce, he grabbed it and got the out at second. Here's an 0-2. Ball 1 to Ramirez. Into right field. Sheffield's made a play with his arm, and now back to make one with his glove. The inning is over. We are through 5 at Fenway Park. Red Sox smiling a little bit now. They lead the Yankees 4-3. We are in Boston today. Next week, 1 Eastern, back to the regular start time, noon Central. The Orioles at the Yankees, the Phillies at the Cubs, the Astros at the Reds. Check local listings for the game and time in your area. It's the Fox Saturday Baseball Game of the Week. We move to the 6th inning, and Enrique Wilson will lead it off with Jorge Posada and Hideki Matsui to follow. Bronson Arroyo pitching into the 6th. Misses low with ball 1. One ball, 1 strike.
I'll tell you, Joe, Manny Ramirez is one of the greatest hitters in the game, no question. But does he do some weird things on a baseball field? This ball is hit to right field as Sheffield drops the ball. Manny is some 50 feet by first base. Didn't even make the turn. Last year we saw him with a water bottle perched in his back pocket while he was playing defense for the Sox. There is no more talented hitter in the game than Manny Ramirez, but he does some screwy things, I'll tell you.
Here's a cue shot that stays fair. Gets over the head of Miller, and it's a base hit for Enrique Wilson, who came in with a .310 lifetime average against Boston, .328 at Fenway. And in his first at bat since taking over for the ejected Alex Rodriguez, he gets a base hit to start the 6th. And here's Jorge Posada.
This is a screwy game, isn't it?
Oh. What's next, huh?
Man.
Posada hits it in the air to left field. That is trouble. It is off the wall. Enrique Wilson will go to third. Throw into second. Safe as Bellhorn can't corral the throw. Jorge Posada was 10 feet shy of second base when Bellhorn had a shot at it, but he couldn't get it on the bounce.
Fair is fair. A fine play by Ramirez. Wheeling and throwing a strike to second base, and Bellhorn can't come up with it. Had he done so, Posada is out by 3 strides. Well done by Ramirez.
And now it's second and third with nobody out. And the Red Sox bullpen will start to stir. Hideki Matsui is already 2 for 2. With an RBI double and a single. Bronson Arroyo is going to have to do some pitch. And now Arroyo wants to talk to Mirabelli. Red Sox fans wondering if they're going to be able to celebrate a come from behind effort and a victory today, or if this will be just another addition, that long-running series of frustration when playing against the Yankees. Last night is already on that list. Leading 4-1 with Schilling on the mound. Falling behind 7-4. Coming back to tie it. Having second and third, 1 out in the 8th, not being able to get another run across, and then losing it in the 9th with their closer Folk on the mound at the hands of Alex Rodriguez. Second and third, nobody out, no balls, 1 strike on Matsui. 61 RBIs for Matsui. That is fair. That's going to put the Yankees on top. In to score is Enrique Wilson. In to score is Jorge Posada. It's a 2-run double, and the Yankees are back on top 5-4.
On a ball that hit the bag. It was a breaking ball from Arroyo. The 3rd hit and 2nd double for Hideki Matsui. The ball hit the bag and then skidded even more fair. Posada scoring easily to give the Yankees the lead. Yet another big hit for Hideki Matsui.
And yet another one for the Yankees down that right side where they did a lot of their damage last night. Here's Ruben Sierra, who hit one down the right side last night on that chopper we showed you 2 innings ago that was fielded by Millar, but he couldn't turn it into an out. A big swing by Sierra, strike one. Now it's Matsui at second, still nobody out. And we showed you Les Canick getting ready for the Red Sox in their bullpen. Cut loose by the Royals, and he's right in the middle of action here with the Red Sox. With the injury to Scott Williamson, who they hope to get back very soon on the DL for the second time with elbow trouble. Les Canick's getting a lot of work. Strike two on Sierra. Arroyo has struck out 3. He needs one here. That stays away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Red Sox started this season 6-1 against the Yankees. They've now lost 4 straight, including last night 8-7. Today Boston trails 5-4 in the 6th. A 1-2 to Sierra. Off the end of the bat, a pop-up. Big out for Boston. Miller, 1 away. We said this was a week where the Boston Red Sox lost 2 games started by Martinez and Schilling.
Yeah.
When they have been winning, it's usually been Martinez and Schilling on the mound. The rest of the staff combined 17 and 23. Wakefield threw a gem, the back end of a doubleheader this week against Baltimore, as Clark sends one out of Fenway. Tony is 0 for 2 with an RBI. Wakefield, who was drilled by a batted ball last week, came back to help the Red Sox salvage 1 game against the Orioles. 4-0 win. Strike 2 on Clark.
Of all the rumors about the rumors of Randy Johnson not coming to the Boston Red Sox, Curt Schilling has been one of the reasons mentioned that he doesn't get along with Randy Johnson. But I mean, to me, there's no way that's going to be a deal breaker. It may be the fact, but 2 pitchers who don't get along with one another, that's nothing new on any team.
Everybody, Tim, has just assumed that the word that you get from a friend, a close friend to Randy Johnson, says that he will approve a deal only to the Yankees. Everybody is taking that as truth.
Yeah.
May be the case, but I'd like to hear Randy Johnson say that before.
Yeah, right. I would too. Even Johnson has said that the reporting on this particular incident has been ridiculous.
Into left field, slicing toward the seats and out of play. Just in case you want to know what he would look like in a Red Sox uniform or a Yankees uniform. If either one of these 2 teams get Randy Johnson, and we talked about this a little bit last week.
Yeah.
I think despite the 9.5 game lead by the Yankees over the Red Sox at this very moment, I think if the Red Sox got Randy Johnson, they would win that wild card, and they would be a more dangerous team than the Yankees in the postseason.
I agree with you.
This is the last time he was acquired at the trading deadline. Acquired by Houston, went 10-1 down the stretch. Great ERA, but went 0-2 in the division series against the National League champion San Diego Padres. Clark strikes out. 4 strikeouts now for Arroyo. And on the other side, if the Yankees get him, You can mark them down for the World Series in October without a doubt.
It would be an extraordinary accomplishment by any American League team to beat the Yankees with that lineup and Randy Johnson in their fold. Of course, Randy Johnson's 5-0 against the Yankees in postseason.
Runner at second, 2 out. In the interest of trying to sort some of that out, we extended the invitation to Brian Cashman and Theo Epstein to come on and join us during today's game, and they declined, and no surprise. They have every reason to keep a closed mouth about potential deals. But we asked. Here's a 1-0. High 2-0 to Cairo, who was struck out twice. The Red Sox in the bottom of the 6th will have Garciaparra, Nixon, and Millar. You talked about it, I think, last week, Tim, that in years past the Yankees have made deals just to play defense, in effect, to keep certain players away from other teams, namely the Boston Red Sox in most instances. But they can't just try to play defense with Randy Johnson. They have to go on the offense and try to get him. That's a base hit. Cairo delivers with 2 out. Matsui will score, and the Yankees lead 6-4 in the 6th. The 2-out RBI hit by Miguel Cairo, who's been a big addition to this Yankee team.
Right off the end of the bat. And the Yankees take a 2-run lead. Here comes Dave Wallace, the pitching coach. Matsui with an excellent jump at 2 outs and 2 strikes. Right off the end of the bat. Little cue shot. There have been some weird hits, weird game on a weird day in Boston.
That's how this inning started, on a squirter over the head of Bill Miller, the third baseman, off the bat of Enrique Wilson. He has scored after the double by Posada and a 2-run double by Matsui, who just scored on the 2-out hit by Cairo. 1 on, 2 out. Arroyo will stay in. Williams will be the hitter. Boys and Girls Club is the official charity of Major League Baseball. Together they create a positive place for kids.
Number 51,
Bernie Williams is 1 out of 3 with a double and a run scored. Hitting .253. He came in having hit only .118 his last 14 games. Went on a great 57-game stretch where he was predominantly in the leadoff spot. Throw in behind Cairo by Ramirez, trying to catch him rounding second too far. That might be it for Arroyo. That is 5 hits in this inning, and Derek Jeter is coming up. And goodbye to Bronson Arroyo. We'll have a pitching change. Les Canick is coming in for Boston. Arroyo is leaving with the Red Sox down 2. Curtis Lescanic says he's about ready to go. This fall, America's #1 pregame show returns as our guys take you all the way from the opening kickoff to Super Bowl 39 in Jacksonville. Along the way, they'll be live at some of the season's best games, bringing you the biggest stories from around the NFL. Fox NFL Sunday, the journey begins September 12th, only on Fox. Turning into a nice day in Boston. This game was almost postponed. Think what we would have missed. All of this back and forth. Derek Jeter now with 2 on and 2 out. Jeter 1 for 3, now dealing with Les Canick. A little close. That gets some reaction out of the crowd. Ball 1. Lescanic started this season with Kansas City. Prior to last year, he had spent his entire career in the National League. Long time. Colorado Rocky. 1 ball, 1 strike on Jeter.
Good fastball from Curtis Leskanic.
Jeter is driven in 49. Two balls and a strike. 8th man to bat in the inning. Arroyo went 5 2/3. He's allowed 6 runs, 4 of them earned, 10 hits, no walks and 4 strikeouts. Also committed an error, although we didn't think it should have been on him. Here's a 2-1. 2-2. So Arroyo, despite that decent ERA of 3.88, 2.23 his last 7 starts. If he gets a decision today, he would go to 3-8. Right now it's up to Leskanic to get Jeter and end this Yankee threat. They've scored 3 here in the 6th. Full count. Cairo will lead from second and Bernie Williams from first.
That's why that 2-2 pitch with 2 outs and runners on is such an important pitch, because the runners are still on a 2-2 count, but 3-2 you have to run. Short double, long single. The trail runner at first could score.
Bases loaded. That's the first walk handed to New York today. And Gary Sheffield will be the hitter. This guy is playing through pain. He had a cortisone injection on June 20th for bursitis in his left shoulder. He's trying to hold off and get another cortisone injection right before the playoffs, which is one of the luxuries of having a 9.5 game lead at this point in the season.
Yeah, and probable surgery this fall on his left shoulder, even to where he can't catch the ball properly right now. Has to catch it out to the side. He could still hit, however.
Yeah, I was going to say, he is tough, he can hit, and his teammates love him. 9 grand slams in the career of Gary Sheffield, and Mirabelli is out to try to slow down Leskanic. Since May 26th, a lot of this done with that aching left shoulder. 326 average and 17 home runs. He is sitting on 399 in his career. He would be the 38th player to reach the 400 home run plateau, and he will be the next time he connects. Even Sheffield is surprised with that bat wiggle at some of the pitches he's able to get to, where they are in relation to where his hands are as the pitch is coming to the plate. Two and one.
Looked like he hurt his left shoulder when he swung at this slider or cut fastball off the plate away.
Two balls and a strike with the bases loaded. Now 3-1. Red Sox trying to hang in this game, and their fate on this Saturday evening may ride with what happens during this at bat. Leskanic took too long, and Sheffield gets time. That'll force home a run. That makes it 7-4 Yankees, and Dave Wallace will trot back out and talk to Leskanic. We always marvel at the hands of Gary Sheffield and how he gets that back in a hitting position, waggling it the way he does. Even he's surprised sometimes when he watches the tape.
And when I watch myself on tape, I just can't believe sometimes, you know, when I see where the ball is positioned, by the time I get ready to commit my swing and where my hands are, it's just that I never can envision I can get my hands back that quick in a hidden position to be able to do anything with the pitch. So I'm kind of like, every time I see the tape, it's like, that can't be me.
That's not uncommon. Hitters really don't give themselves enough credit for having their hands as quick as they are. That's why a lot of hitters will go out in front and lunge at the ball, thinking that they need to get their body out front. They don't give their hands enough credit. Gary, just the latest edition of that.
Bases loaded with 2 out. Enrique Wilson now. More action for the Red Sox in their bullpen. Wilson started this inning with a hit. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mark Malaska getting ready, the left-hander for Boston. Leskanic can't throw strikes. It's 2-1. Two and two. Leskanic took over after the hit by Bernie Williams. Jeter walked. Sheffield walked to force home a run and pick up an RBI for Gary, his 70th of the season. And now Enrique Wilson waits for a 2-2 pitch. Full count. And this is probably the last hitter for Leskanic. With the lefty getting ready and the switch hitting Posada on deck. Bases loaded, 2 out, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Line drive for a hit for Enrique Wilson. 2 more runs will score. Stopping at third is Sheffield. Wilson, since entering for the ejected Alex Rodriguez, 2 for 2. And that makes it 9-4 Yankees in the 6th.
There are games where you have to save your bullpen. So Leskanic coming in and being responsible for 3 runs now may be left out there because you have a 5-run ball game now.
2 walks. He ran the count full. A predictable pitch coming, and Enrique Wilson delivers the 2-out 2-run hit.
Tell you, a guy that the Red Sox dearly need is Scott Williamson. You talked about him last inning, Joe. He is a key guy in their scheme of things, particularly when the starters start faltering. Scott with a lot of experience in the bullpen, and the Red Sox need him very, very badly.
Leskanic falls behind Posada. He's not even close.
Tell you what looms is a large play in this game, and you say, well, it's a blowout. It's not a blowout. I mean, it was a very close game with the bases loaded for the Red Sox and nobody out. And that 1-2-3 double play was the biggest play in this game for either side.
Here comes a 2-0. That's on the inside corner, 2-1.
If that ball is through, there's no telling how many runs the Red Sox score in that inning. As it was, Padilla made the play and turned it to Posada. Bases loaded, nobody out, and the Red Sox could not score any more runs.
3-1. Here's that play off the bat of Bill Miller. That was in the 4th when the Red Sox took the lead. That lead is gone, and the lead for the Yankees is getting bigger. And now Posada waits for a 3-1 pitch. Another walk. 3 walks and a hit from Leskanic. We're going to have another pitching change. We will take a break. Malaska's coming in as Leskanic can't throw strikes.
I'm Jeannie Zalasko back at the Fox Network Center. Barry Bonds is celebrating the big 4-0 today in St. Louis, and Edgardo Alfonso served up the best gift of all. What else? The home run. This run, a 2-run shot. San Francisco now has the 5-3 lead. Top 10.
Thank you, Jeannie. San Francisco trying to take the first 2 games of that series in St. Louis as Matsui takes a strike from Malaska, the left-hander. Matsui has had a huge day. 2 doubles, a single, 3 RBIs, and a run scored as you look at the numbers this season from Alaska. Nine to 4, the Yankees are on top. That will get out of play. Strike 2. Eight runs are charged, 6 earned against the starter Bronson Arroyo. 1 is already on the record of Leskanic, and he's responsible for the 3 on. No balls, 2 strikes, bases loaded, 2 out. Matsui is looking for his 4th hit. Ball 1. The Red Sox will have Garciaparra, Nixon, and Millar in the bottom of the 6th. Here's a 1-2 from Malaska. 2-2. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters today for the Yankees have reached base 10 of 11 chances.
My goodness.
Posada flied out to right in the 3rd inning, the only time one of those 3 didn't get on. A 35-minute top of the 6th. And it will continue. Now it's 3-2 on Matsui, as it's been a pitching meltdown here for Dave Wallace and the Red Sox in the 6th.
The 4th consecutive 3-2 count. 3 by Leskanic, and now Malaska.
That was Williamson, who the Red Sox are desperately trying to get healthy and back in their bullpen. Runners will go. 3-2 pitch. Do it again. Three grand slams already for Hideki Matsui. His first home run at Yankee Stadium as a Yankee was a grand slam.
Yeah, that's only a year and a half. A man who hit 50 home runs before signing with the Yankees the year before with Tokyo.
Got him looking. And a half inning that lasted over a half hour is finally over. A huge inning for the Yankees. They came in trailing. They leave it leading by 5. 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Red Sox, down by 5 in the 6th inning, and Garciaparra starts it with a base hit into right. Nomar's on base for the second time today. Enrique Wilson came close, but it got by him.
Right fielder.
And now Trot Nixon will hit. Trot's 1 out of 2. Last year at this time on this date, Nixon was hitting .320 with 16 home runs and 61 RBIs. He started the season on the disabled list, trying to work his way back from a bulging disc in his back. And he's only played 28 games. He has hit 3 home runs, driven in 13. Tim, not many people talked about the absence of Trot Nixon, but this was a valuable player that they really missed at the beginning of this year.
You're missing 2 guys who are main cogs in your lineup. Nomar Garciaparra and Nixon not back until early June. Trot Nixon, a terrific ball player.
Mel Stottlemyre out to talk to Juan Padilla. If you just joined us, here's what we have seen today. Little Sunday papers from Joe Jackson, and you'll be reading plenty about this game in your Sunday papers tomorrow. 3-0 is the count on Nixon. He's got a take, and it's 2 on with nobody out. A hit, a walk, and now the Red Sox trying to come back as Mr. Appearance a Day, Paul Quantrill, gets loose for Joe Torre. There is a danger with that Yankee bullpen with the amount of work that Quantrill, Gordon, and Rivera have all had to this point. They're 1, 2, 3 in the American League in appearances.
So many appearances, he needs a booking agent. Quantrill's in last night's ball game.
Quantrill gave up a home run to Millar last night. Millar bats here, takes a strike. Kevin is trying to get hot with critics all over him. 5 home runs his first 85 games. He has hit 5 in his last 3 days coming into this action. And today he's 2 for 2. 1 ball, 1 strike.
A surprising note, Joe, that as you look at Quantrill, he's ready. Cap off. Usually means bullpenner is ready.
I was just going to say, we've seen Torre this year within an at bat make a pitching change, and here he is. That's it for Juan Padilla. Second visit of the inning. Quantrill is coming in. Once that hat came off in the bullpen, the pitching change was soon to follow. Next Saturday, we hope that you join us. Fox Saturday Baseball Game of the Week, back to our regular time of 1 Eastern, noon Central. Orioles at the Yankees, Phillies at the Cubs, or the Astros at the Reds. Fox Saturday Baseball Game of the Week. This one has had a little bit of everything. And if the sun comes up, Paul Quantrill comes into the game. And here he is for the 53rd time this season, #1 in the AL in appearances.
He and Tom Gordon forming a very, very good tandem in the Yankee bullpen. Set the stage for Mariano Rivera.
Millar now faces Quantrill. He took deep last night, one of 3 solo home runs for Millar in the 8-7 Yankee win. He was ready for that pitch. Too ready. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Talking about Kevin's 3 home runs last night, I was surprised to find out that it was only the 2nd time that a Red Sox player has had 3 home runs against the Yankees. Mo Vaughn did it back in 1997.
That's a base hit into left field. Garciaparra will hold at third, and the bases are loaded as Millar is 3 for 3. Terry Francona has stayed with Millar, and it's starting to pay off.
6 straight hits for Kevin Millar. 3 home runs last night, 3 hits today. This ball hit like a tracer to left field.
Millar, a guy who played in the Florida organization with Sheffield, was there. Uses some of that bat wiggle that he learned watching Gary Sheffield, and now the bases are loaded, nobody out for Bill Miller. Ball 1.
2nd time in the last 3 innings the Red Sox have had the bases loaded, nobody out.
And again, it's the same guy at the plate,
Bill Miller.
A 1-2-3 double play as last time. (2-0) on Miller. You see the velocity in the Fox box, the top part of your screen. Quantrill is not a guy that comes in and blows hitters away, but he usually keeps the ball down, gets a lot of ground ball outs, keeps hitters off balance.
It's going to be a fastball. A lot of times a catcher will shake his head, and all it means for the pitcher to do is shake his head to give the hitter something to think about. This will be the same fastball.
3 balls and a strike. The crowd's back. That'll score a run and advance Nixon. In to score is Garciaparra. Nixon goes to third. It's 9-5.
Miller with a good pitch to hit. Even though when he gets back to the Red Sox dugout, they'll shake his hand, but the Yankees love that.
I was going to say, that was right in Miller's wheelhouse.
Oh, yeah.
And you could almost see the disappointment on Miller's face when the ball hit the bat. Now Bellhorn, ball 1. First and third, 1 out. 4 out of 18 in this series with runners in scoring position are the Red Sox. Bellhorn is hitting .257. That's well hit into left field. Back at the monster. Off the monster. 1 run scores. That's Nixon. Over to third is Millar. It's an RBI double for Bellhorn, and the Red Sox are right back in it.
Boy, Bellhorn got a lot into this swing. Fastball outside, pasted right on the fat part. About halfway up the monster. Red Sox are in it indeed.
Felix
baseball
Heredia
left to play. Excuse me, Joe.
Felix Heredia getting loose for the Yankees now is Quantrill, who had a rough outing last night, getting hit here today. Although he did take over in the middle of an at-bat with 2 on and nobody out. One ball, one strike. Base hit. 1 run will cross. That's Millar. And it's 9-7.
There's a song that's probably 70 years old, and the name of it is The Night They Called It a Day. Sinatra sings it. Well, this is a game what the night they called it a day, because this day game is fast turning into a night game. The reason I bring that up was I happened to see DeLovely this last week, Cole Porter's marvelous movie. Ashley Judd, Kevin Kline. This is certainly no musical here today, though. Man.
From the very first out, with Bernie Williams pinning Johnny Damon against the center field wall.
Yeah.
It has been wall-to-wall action. First and third, tying runs are on. 1 out. Here's Mirabelli. Strike 1 from Quantrill. Biggest deficit the Red Sox have overcome, 5 runs. They did it at San Francisco. They trailed by 5 today. They still trail by 2. Heredia is getting ready for the guy on deck, Ortiz. Mirabelli is at the plate because Veritek was ejected in the 3rd inning, getting into the fight with Alex Rodriguez. One ball, one strike. You wonder how worn down Paul Quantrill is at this point in the season with all of this action. And it's not even August.
Yeah, I was going to say fast forward to late September and think about that Yankee bullpen.
Gordon's 36.
Yeah.
Mirabelli chased one. Runners at first and third, 1 out. Mirabelli with a count 1-2. Two out and a big strikeout for Quantrill. Mirabelli chased one there as well.
Big hand for David Ortiz, and one would imagine that Joe Torre will continue his thinking and go to Heredia with Ortiz up there, and here comes Torre.
So Quantrill came in, gave up a hit, a sac fly, a double, another hit, struck out Mirabelli, And now Heredia is coming in for Ortiz.
What a 6th inning this has been. David Ortiz is the 20th batter of the 6th inning for both teams.
The Red Sox have 2 on, 2 out, down by 2. Boys and Girls Club is the official charity of Major League Baseball. Together they create a positive place for kids. The place now for Quantrill is in the dugout. And for Heredia is on the mound in the middle of all this action at Fenway. And he will deal with one of the more productive hitters in baseball, David Ortiz, with the tying runs on and 2 out in the 6th. Ortiz today is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored.
David Ortiz, a very good low ball hitter. He likes the ball right there. That's his long ball. Move that up right here, and that's where the Yankees try to pitch him.
2-0.
The jam hitters on the hands, not down. Ball down and in, the easiest pitch to hit in baseball.
2-1.
Yankees got a break and got the call from Bruce Fleming.
That was a big pitch to get.
It was.
With Manny Ramirez on deck.
Right.
And because of all the work by Gordon to this season and last night, he's not up in the bullpen. Might have been payback there. It's 3-1.
Ortiz with great power the other way. At fastball away, no problem for David Ortiz.
What an inning. Maybe the most dangerous hitter in the ballpark is coming up. And Mel Stottlemyre will come out and talk to Heredia, who has to stay in to face Manny Ramirez. 6th in average, 1st in home runs, 4th in RBIs for Ramirez.
Ramirez particularly dangerous when a pitcher is wild, because then he can choose his pitch much better. Now the Yankees do not like this matchup at all.
Bellhorn, Damon, and Ortiz. 3 balls and a strike. Bases loaded, 2 out. Scott Proctor getting loose for the Yankees. And Manny Ramirez is looking for a pitch to crush. Foul.
Mark Bellhorn jumping rope down at third base. That's why runners leading off from third take their lead in foul territory. Obviously, if they're hit in fair territory, the batter is out.
Runners will go. It's a 1-run game with Nomar coming up.
This game's had more pitches than an Amway convention.
Number 5, Nomar Garciaparra.
We're already in the 6th inning.
This inning has lasted over 60 minutes. Felix Heredia has come out of the bullpen, walked 2 to force home a run. They just asked Posada to go out and talk to give Proctor enough time to get loose. Here comes Joe Torre. And this is the state of the Yankees bullpen trying to get to Rivera. A tired Quantrill. Gordon has been overworked, unavailable in the 6th. The bases are loaded, 2 out, and Scott Proctor will try to rescue the Yankees out of this 6th. It's 9-8 with Garciaparra due to hit. Seven o'clock straight up in the East. And a game that's gone back and forth at Fenway Park. It started an hour late. If you're just joining us, here's what you have missed. A cancellation that did not happen. I thought this game was going to be postponed. 3 ejections. We've been going for over an hour in this 6th. Here's Garciaparra. And there's a strike over the outside corner from Scott Proctor. The 8th pitcher of the day. .95 miles per hour, and is Proctor going to be the answer in this 6th inning for the Yankees?
This inning is so unusual. Nomar Garciaparra took a first pitch strike.
That never happened.
Never.
Tying run at third. Bases loaded. 2 out. Ball 1. Damon Ortiz and Manny Ramirez. Inning over. Scott Proctor comes in and ends the 6th inning by striking out Garciaparra. It's a 1-run game. Yankees on top 9-8. Back after this from your local Fox station. It's a 9-8 game, and Malaska is back to the hill. He misses outside. Ball 1 to Ruben Sierra. 6 runs in the top of the 6th. It looked like the Yankees had put the game out of reach at 9-4. 4 runs for the Red Sox. In the bottom half, it's 9-8.
Six walks in the 6th inning. And now Malaska falls behind Sierra.
And Dave Wallace is back to the bullpen phone. Goodbye. Ruben Sierra makes it a 2-run Yankee lead. This bullpen pitching has been so bad.
Dreadful.
Walks all over the place. Pitchers falling behind and getting into predictable counts. And a 2-0 pitch by Malaska is crushed by Sierra.
First baseman, number 29, Tony Clark.
10-8, the Yankees on top. Clark takes the ball. A 1-0 to Clark. Everybody swinging from their heels. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Again, a sign of pitchers who can't get the ball over the plate. That ball Sierra hit way beyond the Coca-Cola bottles in left field. Vanilla Coke.
Left side, nice play, Miller.
Yes.
And Millar can't make the connection.
Miller with a fine stop, and then the throw was low to Millar. He tried to backhand it. It'll be a throwing error, I would imagine, on Bill Miller. This may be the worst game I've ever seen.
The best worst game.
The best worst game I've ever seen. This is a bad baseball game.
E5 on the ball hit by Clark. A bunt by Cairo, ball 1. Just to go back 1 inning. A 1 hour 7-minute 6th. 22 batters, 89 total pitches thrown, and 10 runs scored.
The weirdest of things, Cairo called upon to sacrifice.
The only guy who's pitched well out of the bullpen today has been Proctor. Scott Proctor came on with the bases loaded, 2 out. The Red Sox with all of the momentum. Garciaparra at the plate, and Proctor made quick work of Nomar Garciaparra, struck him out. Otherwise, the relief pitching has been terrible for both sides. The 1-1 pitch. The bunt by Cairo, back to Malaska, throws to second into center field. Another error. And it's 2 on with nobody out.
Stan Musial retired in 1963, and I remember him uttering the phrase more than once. This is the big leagues.
This is it for Malaska.
That question certainly has to be asked one more time. This is the big leagues.
Fielder's choice E1 on that play by Malaska. His final play of the day. 2 on, nobody out. Bernie Williams coming up, and the Yankees on top by 2. With the Democratic National Convention set to start, Boston, Massachusetts has been the site of a lot of action. Last night, today, we've seen literally everything. An 8-7 win for the Yankees last night. 3 ejections in this evening game. A 1 hour 7-minute 6th inning. Scoring all over the place, walks all over the place. Both bullpens pitching poorly, and now Alan Embry tries to stop the bleeding here in the 7th inning.
Cole Porter again, night and day.
Bernie Williams walks in. Bernie is 2 out of 4 with 2 runs scored. Clark's the runner at second. He reached on an error. Cairo's the runner at first. He reached on a fielder's choice and an error. The Red Sox have committed 3 errors, the Yankees none. They're in at the corners for the Red Sox. as if they expect the bunt.
Been 10 years since Bernie Williams has sacrificed. Joe, you and I did a game about 7 years ago where the Yankees played in Cleveland. It was the longest 9-inning game in the history of baseball. I believe it was 4 hours and 9 minutes. We're checking that right now. But this game passed 3 hours as we speak.
2 on with nobody out. The 0-1 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. For the Red Sox, their bullpen, 8 batters faced. 1 man has been retired. That was Malaska coming in to strike out Matsui with the bases loaded last inning. Two on, nobody out. The hard-throwing left-hander Embry hits the outside corner with strike 2. And through all of this, the errors and the work out of the bullpen, the Red Sox are dying to win this game. They're losing last night. They're in the wild card chase. They're a half game out at the start of the day behind the White Sox. And with the fight and all the follies that have happened to this point, the bottom line is they're down by 2 in the 7th inning. And they ask Embry to keep it that way. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's an interesting point, because sometimes the quality of the game is so poor that you forget the importance of the game. And I think this has been one of those types of games. Two balls, 2 strikes on Bernie Williams, hitting .255. The Red Sox in the bottom of the 7th will have Nixon, Millar, and Miller. On 2-2, Williams grounds 1 to short. Not hard hit. Garciaparra can't make a play. And the bases are loaded with nobody out. That was a tough play, an in-between hop, but sometimes infielders play themselves into those types of hops. But you know, that's one of those understandable errors where the hop itself created that. Not making excuses for it. Nomar. That is the 3rd error of this ball game, and it seems like the 30th. Jeter now. It's the 3rd error of this inning. Yeah, fourth of the game, right? They gave Arroyo one way back in the 2nd. Still nobody out. Derek Jeter at the plate. Bases loaded. Back to Embry. To the plate for 1. Down to first. Safe. And we nearly had 2 1-2-3 double plays in the same game. But Embry could not make the connection cleanly with the ball off the bat. Jeter jammed a bit off the glove of Embry, and by the time he recovers, too late to get Jeter at first base. How many times do you see the bases loaded with nobody out and all runners by virtue of errors? That's what happened when the Yankees loaded the bases. 3 straight errors on the Red Sox. 1 by Miller, 1 by Malaska, 1 by Garciaparra. Bases loaded, 1 out now for Gary Sheffield. Strike 1. Embry is trying to do for the Red Sox what Scott Proctor did for the Yankees in the bottom of the 6th.
Philadelphia beat the Cubs today 4-3. So they've split the first 2 games of that series. The Giants over St. Louis 5-3 and 10. Way out in front with Sheffield. It's 0-2.
Good disappearing slider from Embry.
Two out.
Two wicked sliders from Alan Embry. Get Sheffield.
Number 14.
Big strikeout for the left-hander, and with the Yankees on top 10-8, the bases are loaded now with 2 out. Longtime Yankee Ramiro Mendoza is getting loose in the bullpen, but right now the Red Sox will stick with Embry to deal with Enrique Wilson, who's 2 for 2. Got both hits in the 6th inning after taking over for Alex Rodriguez in the 3rd. Ejected. Strike 1. Embry could really pick up his teammates if he can get out of this. The inning started with a huge home run off the bat of Ruben Sierra out onto Lansdowne Street. Just outside, ball 1. Enrique Wilson looking for his 3rd consecutive hit. To the right side and caught by Bellhorn. Embry pumps his fist into the air. He gets out of further trouble. Does a great job out of the pen for the Red Sox. It's 10-8 New York. Time to stretch. We can all use a good stretch. Today's game on Fox is brought to you by Miller High Life. To live simply, proudly, boldly, manly. This is the High Life. And by Singular, the wireless company that fits you best. Trot Nixon first up for the Red Sox. Scott Proctor, who rescued the Yankees out of the bottom of the 6th, works in the 7th and misses upstairs with ball 1. Nixon helped the rally get going last inning for Boston with a walk after the hit by Garciaparra. 1 for 2 with a walk. Proctor throws hard. 2-0. Two balls and a strike. Nixon leading off 2-2. The Yankees already lead the major leagues with 37 come from behind wins. That's to the left side. Foul ball and just out of the reach of Miguel Cairo. The Yankees led 3-0, then trailed 4-3, came back with 6 in the 6th. Led 9-4, then 9-8, now 10-8 after the home run by Sierra. The 2-2. Full count. Millar on deck. Kevin Millar is 3 for 3. Hit 3 home runs last night. (3-2). A leadoff walk. Fans at home are currently voting from among these outstanding plays from today's game. Text message play to 883 on your Singular wireless phone to place your vote for today's Singular play of the game.
That pitch, by the way, on which Trot Nixon walked, that was the 11th 3-2 count in this ball game, and it's still only the bottom of the 7th inning.
Now it's Millar. Foul. Melaska ends up going a third of an inning, allowing 1 run on 1 hit with 1 strikeout. After the walk to Nixon, Millar takes ball 1. Miller on deck. 10-8 New York in the 7th. That's a balk.
That's the only thing we have not had in this game.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Scott Proctor tripping on the rubber and couldn't finish the completion. Fortunately, Scott is all right.
He definitely deceived the runner.
He did.
Down to second is Nixon, and that's no small play. We're only in the 7th inning. There's nobody out. The Red Sox trying to at least advance the runner. Millar with a good rip. He has opened his stance after watching videotape. And guys that are constantly looking at tape, constantly evaluating their swing, what they're doing well, what they're not doing. And after opening his stance, he has been on fire hot for Boston. That's got a shot at our monitor. Right in front of us, little Timmy.
Get out of the way of those. Don't be going after those. Those things hurt.
Here's a 1-2 to Millar. Got him. Good fastball upstairs. Millar strikes out. Update time. It's Jeannie out in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and we're going to keep it out west to Oakland. Eric Chavez looking to pad the A's lead, and that is exactly what he does with a 2-run home run. His 15th of the season makes it 6-2 Oakland. That's where it finished up. And to Chicago, top 1. Tigers on the board, courtesy Dimitri Young. The singles all around. Detroit's on board 1. Is it over the White Sox, top 2?
All right, Jeannie, here it's 10-8 New York. Runner at second, 1 out. And Miller takes a strike. Bill Miller has doubled and scored, hit into a 1-2-3 double play, and hit a sac fly to center. Jammed and a pop up into right. Sheffield is there. 2 out.
Joe,
good job so far by Proctor.
Yep. That game about which we talked was June 22nd, 1996. And it was between Cleveland and the Yankees. Alan Embry pitched for the Cleveland Indians in that game. That game was 4 hours and 9 minutes long. And at the time, it was the longest game ever, the longest 9-inning game. Since then, there have been 2 games that have been longer. Yankees and the Orioles, 4 hours and 22 minutes in 97. And then one 4 hours and 29 minutes in 2001.
Bellhorn pops it straight back and out of play.
This game right now, bottom of the 7th, 3 hours and 20 minutes old. Just got a shot.
Nixon led off with a walk, went to second on the balk. Proctor came up with a strikeout of Millar, got Miller to fly to right. That's Embry and Dave Wallace talking as ball 1 misses up and away to Bellhorn. Bellhorn has a big hit in this game, a double off the wall, the Green Monster in left. The number 9 man in the order. A nice addition to this Boston team. That's inside 2-1. Driven in 52, make it 53 runs now with 2 today.
Alan Embry appeared to be upset, even though he pitched very, very well. He could have hurt himself in that 7th inning.
Bellhorn hits it hard, but a pickup by Tony Clark ends the inning. Either injured or frustrated, he may be coming out. Action for the Red Sox out in their bullpen as we go to the 8th. It's 10-8. Ramiro Mendoza takes over for Boston. He relieves Alan Embry. And he will deal with Posada. What a great job by Alan Embry. And we'll try to get word on the status of Alan Embry.
Yeah, Brad Mills, the acting manager, came out to talk to Bruce Fremming, and we assume that he asked for a longer time for Ramiro Mendoza to warm up. And if that assumption is correct, then Embry could have something wrong with him. You remember Dave Wallace going over to talk to him, and now he's upset. He had a successful 7th inning, so one would assume that his being upset is because of an injury of some kind.
Here's a 1-1 to Posada. It misses outside. Mendoza used to hook up with Posada as battery mates with the Yankees. Now throwing to him. Matsui on deck. We need more baseball. Millar flips to Mendoza. 1 out.
A game in which they are running out of baseballs.
Those baseballs, by the way, the balls that they use in a big league game are not fresh out of the box. They have to rub them. They used to use Mississippi mud.
Now some old Delaware River mud.
With 1 out, Matsui takes a strike on the outside corner. It takes the slickness off the baseball. So they don't just go find those in the back and then bring them into a game. That's on the inside corner, and 2 quick strikes on Matsui.
I believe the fella who produces that mud has a near monopoly on it. I think his name is Etha Blackburn.
Matsui is gone. 2 out.
What business are you in? Well, I have a monopoly on mud. Good curveball from Mendoza to get Matsui.
Number 24.
Here's Ruben Sierra. Sierra homered his last time up, leading off the 7th in the bottom of this 8th inning. It appears that Proctor will stay out there for New York, and why not with the way he's pitching and with the wear and tear on the arm of Gordon. He will try, he being Proctor, will try to set up Rivera, and will deal with the top of the order, Damon, Mirabelli, and Ortiz. Strike 1 on Sierra. One ball, 1 strike. To the right side, Millar backs up. Overhand to Mendoza, and off we go to the bottom of the 8th. Big inning for each side coming up. Top of the order will bat for Boston against Proctor. 10-8. Back after this from your local Fox station. The singular play of the game is selected by you, the fans. The Veritek-Rodriguez fight, which happened back in the 3rd inning. Johnny Damon leads off and takes a ball inside. Scott Proctor, recalled from AAA on Tuesday, had a couple of saves, a 2.75 ERA and 31 relief appearances with Columbus, and he's been outstanding as Damon fouls one out of play off to the right.
He has restored some order in the inning in the 3rd that he's worked, striking out 2 and walking only 1.
Former Dodger farmhand ready for a 1-1 pitch to Damon, who is 2 out of 4. Top of the order for Boston. That's high. 2-1. 2 RBIs for Damon, 50 on the season. Great total for a leadoff hitter. Trying to go the other way. It's 2-2. These two teams will have 6 left with each other after tomorrow night. Middle of September in New York and toward the end of September in Boston. Hard hit, diving stop, Tony Clark. He robbed Johnny Damon of a leadoff hit. What a play.
Wow. Tony using all 6 feet 7 inches of him, and he needed every inch. Terrific first baseman, and he showed just why on that play. Boy, that's a dandy right there.
Mirabelli now. Even had to deal with that little mini short hop right at the end.
Yeah.
Tremendous play by Tony Clark. And Mirabelli just made the home plate umpire Bruce Fremming tell Proctor to move the rosin bag to the backside of the mound.
First time we've seen that today, too.
With 1 out, Mirabelli. Strike 1, 96 from Proctor. Yankees may have found something in Scott Proctor to come in the situation back in the 6th with the bases loaded 2 out and strike out a hitter like Garciaparra, then work a scoreless 7th, and he's working on the Red Sox here in the 8th, and they could use another arm or 2 out in that bullpen. Rivera getting loose. Mirabelli thought about trying to convince Fremming he was hit by that pitch. Initially, he made a motion like that, grazed him, and then he kind of forgot about it. Here comes a 1-2 pitch from Proctor.
Just looking around Fenway, I mean, in almost any type of game like this, you'd find some empty seats. You'd find people leaving. I mean, a day game that started at 4:09 into dinner time, stuff like that. Everybody's still here.
Mirabelli to third, and a nice backhanded pickup by Cairo. 2 good plays to start this 8th inning from the Yankees. 10th in the AL in fielding percentage coming in. They get one from Clark. Now, certainly not an easy play for Cairo. And with 2 out and a 2-run lead, Proctor can pitch to Ortiz. come right after him.
Yeah, and the solo home run is not going to, well, obviously it's going to hurt you, but it doesn't allow Boston to tie the game.
This guy's throwing great. 96, and he blows it past the bat of Ortiz. Along with the velocity, there's a confidence about Proctor.
Yeah, calmness.
You wouldn't expect from a guy being baptized into this rivalry at the end of this kind of a game. And I mean, he has come right after these Red Sox hitters with that very good fastball. Not messing around. Not trying to be too cute or make a perfect pitch. The 1-1 with 2 out, nobody on. Strike 2. A game that started with the fireworks between A-Rod and Varitek and the Yankees and the Red Sox. It has been taken over for the last inning plus by Scott Proctor. With 2 out and nobody on, Ortiz gets a base hit to right. Turn one of those fastballs around, and now Manny Ramirez will be the hitter, but will it be against Proctor? If Rivera is ready, you would have to believe it would be against Rivera.
I would think so. Rivera looking into the Yankee dugout. That was funny. Now looking over his shoulder, he knows what Joe Torre's thinking, and predictably, here comes Torre.
Yankee teammates ought to give Proctor a hug as he leaves.
6 big outs against the Red Sox.
Posada patting him on the back. Joe Torre with a pat on the back. And now Mariano Rivera, who has saved 23 consecutive games, including the opener of this series here last night, will take over. Tying run at the plate. It's Manny Ramirez. Scott Proctor goes 2 innings, allows 1 hit, struck out 2, did walk 1, and committed a balk through 36 pitches. And now Mariano Rivera, 23 straight, 35 on the year, a 1-0 record. His 48th game. He came in number 3 in the American League in appearances. Tom Gordon with the day off. Quantrill pitched today. Everybody else out of the bullpen for the Yankees. Tying run at the plate, Manny Ramirez. Fly ball into right center field. Bernie Williams with room ends the inning. Rivera comes in, throws 1 pitch, and that'll send this game into the 9th. Still 10-8 New York. Major League Baseball on Fox, brought to you by Miller High Life. To live simply, proudly, boldly, manly. This is the High Life. By Burger King, and remind you to have it your way. By Radio Shack, you've got questions, we've got answers. And by GMC, we are professional grade. We go to the 9th inning, a long day at Fenway Park, and it's Tony Clark leading off for New York. Cairo to follow, then back to the top. Bernie Williams against Ramiro Mendoza. Bernie Williams today, 2 hits. In 5 at-bats, he scored 2 runs. To the shortstop, Garcia Parra, who was playing up the middle. 1 out. Tony Clark will end the day hitless, did get an RBI. Our great feat of the game presented by Tinactin. And this got the day started back in the 3rd inning. Both benches cleared. The frustration for the Red Sox boiling over. Alex Rodriguez in the middle of it. The starter for the Yankees, Tanyan Sturtz, got involved and then was pulled after 3 innings, bruising his little finger on his right hand. That's the word we got, as Mendoza hits the 90 mile-per-hour mark on the first pitch. A strike to Cairo. The bunt. Mendoza with a bare hand stab and throw. 2 out. Against Rivera in the 9th inning, the Red Sox will have Garciaparra, Nixon, and Millar. Bernie Williams will bat here with 2 out and nobody on.
The center fielder, number 51, Bernie Williams.
The Yankees trying to win for the 62nd time this season. They'll have the best record in all of baseball, and if they win today, they would be 10.5 games in front of the Red Sox. Plenty will be said after this game with what happened in the 3rd and
Absolutely.
what's happened since.
By the way, to reiterate what we said earlier in the game, the Yankees throughout their history have never blown a lead of more than 6 games. They blew a lead of 6 games back in 1933. So that gives you an idea of how tough a climb it would be for the Red Sox or anybody else.
56-0 this season when leading after 8. And that points to one guy. Rivera swinging on 3-0. The inning is over. Manny Ramirez hauls it in. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Garciaparra, Nixon, Millar coming up. Red Sox their last chance. They trail by 2. Coming up tonight on Fox at 8 Eastern, Cops, then followed by America's Most Wanted at 9. It is 5 minutes until 8. We look ahead to next Saturday. A reminder of the games on our schedule. Hopefully they are on yours. Back to our regular time of 1 Eastern, noon Central. The Orioles at the Yankees. The Philadelphia Phillies at the Chicago Cubs. And these are the late games. Seattle at the Anaheim Angels. And it'll be fun to see what happens in that American League West. The season wears on. Texas has built a 4.5 game lead over Oakland, 5 over Anaheim. And in the NL West, there's no team hotter than Los Angeles. Garciaparra, strike 1. LA is up 3.5 games on San Diego and San Francisco. They've won 16 of their last 18. Nomar Garciaparra, first up. Rivera finished off the 8th. And now he's 0-2 on Garciaparra. The 0-2 pitch. Garciaparra hits it to left center field. It's down for extra bases. Played by Matsui. It's a double, an 0-2 pitch, and Garciaparra gets his 3rd hit of the day. The Red Sox will not go quietly, even with Rivera on the mound for New York.
Joe, you said the hit was down, the pitch was down, and that's where you can get Rivera. That's the only consistent area where guys can get the bat head out. As you see, Garciaparra getting the bat head out. You don't have to be as quick on a low pitch as you do a high pitch. But when Rivera is down there, he's handleable.
Trot Nixon now, tying run at the plate. Ball 1. This season, Rivera is trying to become just the 2nd closer to record over 30 saves and have an ERA under 1. He has 35 right now with a 0.89 ERA. The Hall of Famer going in this weekend, Dennis Eckersley, the only one who has done it to this point.
Egg did it in 1990 with a .61 earned run average, as he and Paul Molitor will be inducted tomorrow.
Here's a 2-0 to Nixon, the tying run. Taking, it's 2-1. You might as well look to swing on 2-0 because you know Rivera's going to be around the plate.
Yeah, he's not going to walk you.
The 2-1 from Mariano Rivera. 3 balls and a strike. On deck is Millar. The maligned Millar. Nixon hits it into right field. Back is Sheffield at the wall for out number 1. Tagging and going to third is Garciaparra. Nixon came so close to tying this game. Comes out to talk. And Nixon thought it had a chance. So Stottlemyre talking about the strategy and whatever their scouting report has been on Kevin Millar. Whatever the report was coming into this series may have changed because they have not pitched well to Millar.
Yeah, that's an odd meeting.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's odd.
Millar has 3 singles today, hit 3 homers last night. He's the tying run at the plate. A flare. It's a 1-run game, and the tying run is on. Millar with his 4th hit of the day.
Of course, you know, you have to speculate on what the meeting was all about between Mel Stottlemyre and Mariano Rivera. And the only thing I can think of, Joe, is to keep the ball away from him. Don't give him a chance to pull the ball. Here's a guy who's hot. Keep it away, and what does he do? Off the end of the bat, over the head of Enrique Wilson, and now it's a 1-run ball game.
Pinch runner in the game for Millar as Bill Miller takes ball 1 high. McCarty runs at first. Millar did his part. A 1-0 to Bill Miller. Homered last night. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Red Sox do not have that speed threat to come off the bench and steal a base. In fact, they've only stolen 40 all year. McCarty might run a little better than Millar, not much. The 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. A 10-9 game. Three balls and a strike.
Uncharacteristic for Rivera to be wild low. And yet he has been wild low in this inning.
A double by Garciaparra. Nixon flied to the track and right, and a hit for an RBI by Millar. Now Miller's sitting on a 3-1 pitch. Driven in the air to deep right field. Back is Sheffield. The Red Sox win it. In a game where we saw just about everything, you see the unlikely and the rare. A blown save by Mariano Rivera, giving up 3 runs in the 9th inning. And the Red Sox, before a crowd of 35,501, come from behind to win it over the Yankees. These fans stayed for a long day, and they stayed, as it turns out, for a reason.
Remarkable.
8.5 out. But the Red Sox aren't thinking about the AL East at this second. They are thinking, we just got Rivera and took one from the Yankees.
Posada was sitting inside. The pitch was down the middle of the plate. And remarkably, the Red Sox come back and win it. Unbelievable.
A game that saw the good, the bad, definitely the ugly. Ends with the unlikely. Forget the AL East, say the Red Sox and their fans. Look at the wild card standings. Boston now pulls into a tie with the White Sox at the top of that list. The Boston Red Sox with a 3-run 9th inning defeat the New York Yankees. We hope to get a chance to visit with Bill Miller, who is standing by, pumping his fist to the crowd. Bill, I don't know if you can hear me down there, can you?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, I saw your face the previous at bat when you had a pitch to hit and got under it and flied out. This one, I saw your face. You knew immediately when that ball left it was gone, didn't you?
Not really. With, you know, I run hard every time because you just never know. You know, and the way the wind's blowing in a little bit tonight, so I'm just trying to put a good swing on it. It might be my first hit off that guy. I don't know.
This has been such a crazy game and such a crazy day. I think all the world thought that this game wasn't even going to be played. We talked about the Yankees side of it. Did you? At what point did you guys realize that this game was going to happen?
I think you go with the mindset you're going to play until they tell you to go home. That's basically my mindset. I'm here to play, and if they tell us to go home, then we get them tomorrow. So it doesn't change anything when I'm thinking about the game.
You are on right now in front of this entire crowd at Fenway Park. This crowd stayed in it with you until the end. How about this day for the Boston Red Sox?
Hey, that's why we play 9 innings, and this is home field advantage right here.
Bill Miller, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
An incredible day where we saw everything at Fenway Park. Here's how it started. Earlier, we thought this game wouldn't happen. All of these moments, including the brawl. 3 ejections. And in the end, it's an unforgettable game and an unforgettable rivalry. That's what's coming your way next week.